Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So today's episode comes to you courtesy of my incredible patrons. Once a month they vote on a commander that they want to see in an upcoming episode, of the commander that got the most votes this month is Thranduil the Strategist, a 4/4 elf noble for 5 mana in Simic that says other elves you control have tap out of green or tap out of blue, and it's got landfall whenever a land you control enters. You make a 1/1 green elf creature token. Now, this is a supercharged landfall commander. This is one that says, hey, not only are we one of the most powerful, one of the most supported tribes of all time, but I'm going to be making you an insane amount of elves by doing what you already want to do. Okay, ramping with lands. Oh, but not just that, because when you're ramping with lands, you make an army of elves that can also tap for mana. Oh, and by the way, if you have any other elves just in the deck, they also just tap for mana. And again, it's not even just land or elf style, okay, tapping for a green, which would already be amazing. It is literally tapping for either of your colors, so it is fixing your mana, ramping you, making you an army, all while again doing what you already want to do. Ramp with lands, get them out, get an insane amount of mana. I mean, basically all of your lands count for 2 with this kind of a commander, and take over the game with one of the most powerful, powerful tribes out there. Did I mention elves are powerful? Regardless, if you are interested in this deck, make sure you check out that deck list link in the description below. With all that said, let's jump into the tactics to see how we're going to win with this one. Okay, first up, let's talk about other landfall helpers. First up, Mole Man, Moloid Master, a 1/1 human villain for 3 mana in green, says, hey, you can play lands from your graveyard. Already, that just unlocks so much for this commander. Again, basically going like, oh, do I have any kind of Evolving Wild style card? Basically, any kind of fetch land style card? Yeah, I get that again and again and again and again. Oh, on top of that, whenever a land you control enters, you make a 1/1 minion. That also, hey, whenever it attacks, you can mill a card. You don't really care about milling too much with this deck, other than, you know, getting lands in your graveyard. Once you do, good for you. You got it. That being said, being able to just go, oh yeah, lands come into play, I expand my army, great goal for me. Hey, Thranduil, another one, a 2/3 elf noble for 4 mana. First of all, you can mill 4 cards, then put the 2 land cards among them in your hand. Great, if you do that for the Sorcery Adventure. Otherwise, get this in play. Other elves you control get ++1. Yeah, that's amazing already. Oh, on top of that, land you control enters, you make a 1/1 green elf creature token. Absolutely insane. Basically doubling up your commander's effect to just make you an elf army while also pumping them. Yeah, it's crazy, crazy good. Chocobo Racetrack, get another landfall that can absolutely dominate the game. Land enters, make a 2/2 bird that says, hey, whenever a land enters, you get +1/0 until end turn. So basically, you make a massive army of creatures that can become even more massive when they are going to be swinging. Elfsworn Giant. It's got reach, so it's landfall. Hey, when a land enters, yeah, by the way, you make a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Again, yet another way to make more elves. It's absolutely insane. Use social engineering. This one you can warp it out if you need to, though. That being said, land control enters, make a 2/2 robot artifact. Zendikar Royal, make a 2/2 elemental creature token. Rampaging Balos, taking that a step further. First of all, it's a 6/6 trampler. That's nice. By the way, land control enters, make a 4/4 beast. Again, so many landfall triggers that do so much for you, but hey, how about, an ETB on its own? Avenger of Zendikar, when it enters, make a 0/1 green plain creature token for each land you control. Again, you are already heavily incentivized to get an insane number of lands in play. So when you do so, you've got a giant army with this. Oh, and by the way, hey, when land comes into play, you get a counter on each plant you control. Absolutely absurd way to grow a giant army and make them absolutely massive all at once. Moving on, let's talk about some elf support cards, though. Coiling Oracle is a great one, a great way to ramp or, get something in your hand. But yeah, you kind of forgot this was probably an elf, too. It's a snake elf druid. Who knew? Hey, enters the battlefield, reveal the top card, it's a land, put on the battlefield, otherwise put in your hand. Basically, either draw or ramp with this. Llanowar Scout, tap on a land card from your hand on the battlefield. Pre-Titania, just an insane amount of mana. It's like, oh yeah, thanks, Commander, for giving me the ability to tap for mana, but I've got this. Tap for a green for each elf on the battlefield. This is going to be like tapping for 20+ mana at a certain point. Elven Raft Steerer, hey, landfall, tap down a creature play controls or untap target creature you control. Yeah, if you got this in combination with Pre-Titania, congratulations. Otherwise, even just untapping essentially itself, you're able to just utilize extra mana. It's crazy good. Elvish Archer, yet another way to give you an insane amount of mana. Tap at a green for each elf you control. Oh, by the way, also pump your elves ++1. Yes, thank you. Farhaven Elf, ETB, go get a basic into play tapped. Thank you as well. Imperious Perfect, pumps your elves you control ++1. By the way, by paying a green mana and tapping, you make a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Yeah, basically just a way to just create a massive army throughout the game that can also just make you mana. I mean, you're not even losing mana by doing this. You're basically, oh yeah, let me just invest this to make a creature that can tap for mana as well. Springbloom Druid, ETB, sacrifice 1 land, get 2 into play. Tapped, I mean, basically kind of like a Harrow style effect essentially, but those lands come to play tapped. Being able to just go, oh yeah, on an elf, that also can now tap for mana. Good for me. What elves get that mana back right away? Enters the battlefield, get a forest, put on the battlefield untapped. Yes, please. Then shuffle. And finally, Thranduil's Company. Whenever you have a land come into play, you get 2 counters to target creature control gains vigilance. That's a nice little effect. Oh, but also, hey, more importantly than that, no offense, but hey, as long as you control another elf, you may pledge to land each of your turns. Yes, please. Extra lands? Yeah, we're going to be getting a ton of those. Speaking of large quantities of lands, Animus Awakening, an amazing X spell for us. Reveal the top X cards of your library, put all land cards from among them on the battlefield, tap the rest of our library in random order. By the way, if you control, not control, if you have 2 or more instant source cards in your graveyard, you want to tap those lands. Technically, you don't control them, but they are there. Yeah, you're going to hit that, and you're going to be getting a lot of mana off of this. Speaking of which, Kamal's Druidic Vow. Top X card your library, put any number of land into or legendary permanent cards, convert mana cost, X less from them on the battlefield, the rest on your graveyard. Yeah, being able to just go, again, dump a ton of mana into this, get all those lands off the top, and some legendaries too, but yeah, mostly just the lands, what you care about. Absolutely crazy. 1 more mana, Genesis Wave. You hit all the permanents, basically, and put them all onto the battlefield. Yes, thank you for that. Again, giant X spells can really help you. Or how about just a fixed cost spell at 3 mana? Harvest Season can just get you basically every single basic out of your deck. Search library to X basic land cards by the number of tap creatures you control, put them on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Again, you are going so wide in so many ways. Again, not just your commander, but I also have already shown you, obviously, a ton of ways to make landfall tokens. Good for you. Swing with them and then cast this and go, okay, that's 20 creatures tapped. Yeah, let me go get 20 basics. And then all those landfall triggers happen. Have fun. You're going to run out of board space. Next up, let's talk about some multiple land ramp spells. Colony Heart Expedition's a great one. Landfall, whenever that happens, you get a counter on this. Move 3 counters from it. Sacrifice, go get 2 basics into play, tapped. Cycle of Renewal. Sacrifice 1 land, get 2 basics into play, tapped, then shuffle. Again, think about all the landfall triggers of all these. Grow from the Ashes, go get 1 land or 2 if you kicked it into play, untapped. Harrow, sacrifice 1, get 2 basics into play, untapped as well. Roiling Regrowth, same thing, but those lands come into play, tapped. Circuitous Route, there's going to be a lot of these. Search life to 2 basic land cards and or gate cards, battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Yeah, we care about the basics, so there you go. Explosive Vegetation's the OG, basically 4 mana, get 2 into play, tapped. Exact same thing with Vengeance of Zendikar as soon as that comes into play, and then once you take it out, well, flips over to the Skyclave, a 4/4 Vigilance Hasty. It's on the battlefield, it's also a land. It can tap for 1 mana of any color, good for you. Migration Path, again, exact same thing when it comes to getting 2 basics, Explosive Vegetation. You can also cycle it away. Reach the Horizon, guess what? Basically the exact same thing. Vestwood Surge, again, the exact same thing, but you can also kick it, and when you do, 2 counters on each creature you control, which again can be game ending. This is Renewal, 6 mana, gain 7 life, that's nice, but more importantly, get 3 basics into play, tap. Burnt Confluence, hey, choose 3, so again, you can do the exact same thing, basically go with 3 basics into play, tapped, or get 2 counters on a creature, or return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. All great options, mostly though, basics. Verdant Mastery, a great one as well. Basically, go get 4 basic land cards, reveal them, 1 on battlefield, tapped to opponent's control if the 4 cost was paid, because you can actually pay just 4 instead of 6 if you want to, or you get all the lands, 2 into play, and then 2 in your hand as well. But of course, we've got some simpler ramp spells that can help us out even earlier. Rampant Growth, of course, the OG, 2 mana, get a basic into play, tapped. Edge of Autumn is the exact same thing if you got 4 or fewer lands, or later in the game, an amazing way to cycle away a land. Cycle it by sacrificing a land. There you go. Secure Tribe Builder, Steve. Rampant Growth on a body. Sacrifice it to basically get the Rampant Growth effect. Shade Roots, the exact same thing as Rampant Growth. Cultivate, cost 3 mana, get 2 basics, 1 goes in your hand, 1 goes battlefield, tapped. Good for you. I mean, again, basically 2, landfall triggers in the same turn if you haven't played your land yet, or if you can play an extra land. And finally, Search for Tomorrow, an amazing turn 1 play. Spend 2 for a single green mana. Go get that basic and play untapped. Moving on, when it comes to card advantage, we've got some amazing X spells. We talked about how not only are you getting an insane amount of lands into play with this deck, but also, again, your elves tap for mana, and your commander makes elves. Finale of Revelation, yeah, dump a ton of mana into that. Draw X cards of X is 10 or more, instead shuffle your grave in your library, draw X cards, untap to 5 lands. No max advance size, rest of the game, exile it. Yeah, this is really, really crazy, crazy good. Pull for tomorrow. Instant speed, draw a card, discard a single card. Well worth it. Season of Growth. This one says creature in his battlefield control, scry 1. Also, if you cast spell, it targets creature, draw a card. That's nice, but more importantly, again, literally just all of a sudden is, hey, landfall, scry 1 with your commander, just your commander. If you've got more ways, again, to make more creatures, all of a sudden, yeah, landfall. Oh, yeah, I make like 3 creature tokens. Cool. Scry 1, scry 1, scry 1. A lot of card selection from this. Tireless Tracker. Land you control enters investigate, so you make a clue. Sacrificing clues, get counter on this creature. Yeah, again, you've got no shortage of mana with this deck to sacrifice those clues. Distant Melody, choose a creature type, elves. Draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. Yeah, you're going to be drawing an insane amount for just 4 mana. Rashmi, also an elf. Whenever you catch your first spell each turn, reveal the top card of your library with a non-land card converted by a cost less than that spells. You can cast it for free. If you don't, put in your hands. Yeah, you get a lot of value out of this throughout the game. Seer's Sundial, landfall, pay to draw a card. Again, mana is no problem for this deck. Zamone, landfall, land enters, manifest dread. And then, hey, if it's the second time, you can turn a permanent you control face down, face up. Yeah, so basically cheat things into play in a way. Shamanic Revelation, very simple, very effective. Draw a card for each creature control. By the way, if you've got, some power on those creatures, 4 life for each creature power or greater 2. Still, again, paying 5 mana, being like, yeah, I'll draw 20, good for me. Tatiel Benthic Druid, an insane amount of advantage with this one. Land enters, you gain 1 life. That is nice, but more importantly, draw a card. Collective Unconscious, basically exact same thing as Shamanic Revelation for that first part. Draw a card for each creature you control, which again is going to be an insane amount. Next up, though, let's talk about some ways to throw our wrench into our opponent's plans. First up, Nature's Claim. So target artifact or enchantment controller gains 4 life for just a single mana. Well worth it. Pest Infestation, yet another way to make an insane amount of creature tokens and destroy all of your opponent's artifacts and enchantments. You destroy X of them, basically. Create twice that many pests. Good for you. Broken Bond, ramp even more. Start an artifact or enchantment, land from your hand right on the battlefield. Beast will then get rid of anything, absolutely anything, and replace with a 3/3 green beast creature token. Rex Sage, yet another elf that can help us again. Literally tap for mana now, too. ETB is to target artifact or enchantment. A perplexing test. A way to say, hey, you know what we need to do? Get rid of all the non-tokens. Because we can choose 1, turn all creature tokens back to our hands. Oh, we're probably not going to be doing that. Or we can turn all non-token creatures back to our hands. So again, like an alpha strike type play going like, oh yeah, got all these creature tokens in play. My opponents do not. Goodbye to all of your things. Grappling Kraken, landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, tap down target creature opponent controls, put a stun counter on it. Yeah, you can lock down the board with something like this. Or just get rid of the board. River's Rebuke. Turn on non-land permanent circuit player controls back to the owner's hand. Hey, basically a mini Cyclonic Rift, but on one player and going like, yeah, you're way too far ahead. Goodbye to all your things. Thank you. Bye-bye. Finally, Junk Winder. This one is absolutely brutal. Affinity for tokens. So first of all, you play this for basically just 2 mana. By the way, token you control enters the battlefield. Tap down, target non-land permanent opponent controls. It doesn't untap target controls, like untap step. Absolutely brutal. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on this one. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.